Are you familiar with the rules? According to my mother, it involves 3 legacy topics followed by thesis questions.
What are legacy topics?
Questions posed to the previous scholar, the answer must surpass the previous one, or the thesis faces rejection for a year.
That's harsh. Your work can be rejected just because your answers aren't good enough.
Shall we proceed? We shall. Let's delve into a question about the Dragon of Albion. What led to its demise? Albion died attempting to dig down to the reverse side. That answer has been given before. I need a more precise explanation for why it met its end.
Ghana pondered deeply. Why did the Dragon of Albion die trying to reach the center of the earth? He sifted through all related knowledge about the underworld, and after careful consideration, he found an answer.
The Gog and Magog. Interesting concept. Elaborate. The Gog and Magog, or Yak-Juj and Mak-Juj, reside beneath the surface of the earth. The evidence lies in the expedition of the first king, Zul-Qarnayn. Cyrus the Great? Debatable, as Zul-Qarnayn lived in the era of the prophet Ibrahim or Abraham, 3 different eras after the prophet Nuh or Noah. This period followed the Great Flood, where the scholars were formed. So, what is the connection between the Gog and Magog and the death of the Dragon of Albion? Remember the tale when dwarfs dug too deep and discovered the tomb of Balrog? Albion dug excessively deep, encountering the Gog and Magog instead. A dragon defeated by the Gog and Magog? Indeed, Zul-Qarnayn stated that even the 24th prophet on its second coming would flee from the Gog and Magog. Zul-Qarnayn chose to imprison them, knowing direct confrontation meant certain defeat. That's how formidable the Gog and Magog were, surpassing humanity in sheer numbers. An intriguing response.
Bazet, Mordred, and Medusa could only watch in awe as these brilliant minds exchanged words.
On to the second topic. Is the multiverse infinite? No. Well, this is refreshing. You're the first to answer with a definitive no. I have my reasons. In my death, I was transferred to my original world and met Eudex Dominus. Ah, the Mordred who defeated the Jinn with sheer power. Even with the scroll limiting the Jinn's abilities, defeating them alone is a legendary feat. Please, go on. She revealed that there are only 2 versions of me across multiple singularities and worlds, indicating that the multiverse is not infinite. Any proof? Imagine a person born, living, and dying in a desert, knowing nothing beyond it. To them, the world appears as an infinite Sahara desert, especially if asked about the amount of grains of sand, they would say infinite. So, you're using a limited knowledge analogy to support your answer? Exactly, those multiverses are not infinite, there are just a lot of them. It's like asking someone how many hairs they have on their head, they'd say a lot, not infinite. 110,932. I didn't expect you to have so much free time for hair counting. Ha ha ha, I'll take that answer. Now, the final topic. How did Solomon die? You knew the answer. Indeed, I knew. I simply wished to hear it from someone other than myself. Old age. Prophet Suleiman passed away while in prayer, standing with his cane for support.
Zelretch closes his eyes. The scene painted by Ghana echoes vividly in his mind.
And why did he choose that? The Jinn feared Prophet Suleiman. They would burn at the sight of him praying. They toiled for humanity and him. As his cane decayed from termites, his body fell to the ground. Jinn hears this, and they are happy and finally freed. They quickly assumed various functions of the world. Yes, exactly as I recall. I'm an old fool who learned from them, and heard their counsel, yet I know I cannot trust them. Shall we proceed to the thesis? Well, inquiring about your thesis is merely a test of the originality, whether it's genuinely your work. However, there's something I wish to understand. I've visited a world where Solomon exists as a servant, taking on the role of a grand caster. My question is that the real Solomon? No. Explain. The Throne of Heroes is basically the Jinn in the form of function of the world. It captures souls it deems worthy, then records them, so they can paste their souls whenever they want. But no one can manipulate the prophets, including their souls. They are directly guided by God and guarded by the angels of heaven. The throne of heroes could be easily deleted by heaven if they step out of their boundaries and oath, just like what Marid al-Mazmuma said to us in our final battle. Intriguing. Go on. If you encounter Solomon as a servant, that isn't Prophet Sulayman. It's merely a magical entity named Solomon. You make a valid point. The Solomon I knew and the one I witnessed as a servant is distinct. I concur with your observation, having seen my alternate self, transformed into a dead apostle. If it is infinite, you might see yourself as a sexy lady in a bikini. With a beard, I assume? Ha ha ha, that would be tempting. Alright, the final test is concluded.
So, what's the verdict?
You haven't passed to become a real scholar, Ghana.
What? Not pass? Listen here, old man. He traverses the realm of the dead to face an adversary that would make your old ass run like a scared cat. And you don't recognize him as the official scholar of Alexandria? What the actual fuck?
Well, I have the right to deny it. I'm the sole judge here.
Mr. Zelretch, can't you reconsider your decision? Screw this old geezer. I'll slap you out of this house.
Darling, don't say things like that. There must be a reason for his decision. I don't know how challenging it is to become an official scholar of Alexandria. But if the tests are this demanding, it means I need to learn more than I know today. See? He even supports my decision.
Oh, shut the fuck up. He's just being nice.
Thank you, Zelretch. I appreciate the final test. Well, I should take my leave now before one of your wives starts biting. Oh, by the way, I've got something for you, but I left it with El Melod. If you come to the clock tower, pay him a visit.
You old geezer, why make it so complicated? You've already met him, why not give it to him directly?
I forgot. I'm old, it's natural that I forget a lot of things. Ha ha ha, okay then, see you, Ghana. Thank you for visiting us.
Sweetheart, I'll visit you back after I drop Mr. Zelretch at the airport.
With that, Zelretch took his leave, followed by Bazit. They walked outside, heading towards the car.
Mr. Zelretch, why did you put him through all this? Offering him a final test just to drop him in the end?
No, that's not my intention. But he hasn't fully grasped his own origin. How can he answer questions about external knowledge and embrace it without first understanding and embracing his own self?
His origin?
Well, we've arrived.
Suddenly, Zelretch and Bazit found themselves at the airport. Bazit was bewildered. They had walked only a few meters from Ghana's house, and now they were at the airport.
What? We're already here?
I'll take my leave. Thanks for accompanying me, Miss Bazit. Sorry for taking you for a longer stroll, he will have an important visitor. Oh, keep him in check, will you?
Huh?
Still confused, Bazit watched as Zelretch continued walking into the airport.
That old man, he can teleport, yet he's taking an airplane, and worse, he brought me along. Darn it, I left my car at Ghana's place.
As evening fell, the scene shifted to Ghana. He was still upset and tearful about the final test. Medusa hugged him and patted his back gently.
Can't you see? I answered confidently and spot on, but he rejected my answer.
Well, dear, to us, you're an official scholar of Alexandria.
No, I'm intelligent, and I deserve the title of an official scholar. I am the last one. That old man, I am fucking kick him next time I see him.
Honey, you're smart, even smarter than me.
That's an insult.
Say what?
Medusa whispered to Mordred.
Is he often like this? This is the first time I've seen him like this, maybe because we're already his wives, he's more open about how he feels. Perhaps.
That old man, I wish he had a bald spot in the middle so he looks downright ugly as fuck.
Suddenly, a knock echoed at the door, slightly weaker than before.
A guest? That must be that old fart Zelretch. Don't worry, honey, this time I'll kick his ass.
Mordred flung the front door open.
What do you want, old father? Father, you are alive. Saber?
Huh? Artoria?
Ghana stepped outside and saw the unexpected guest at the door.
Artoria? How are you here?